James Turner for the untouchable true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so this is a follow-up video to a video I did a couple days ago about the return of Daniyar YELEUSSINOV. You know, he's had contractual and promotional issues, and he hasn't really been seen or heard of much in the boxing world. But this is a guy that years ago when he first turned pro, you know, he came in with a lot of hype, two-time gold medalist, southpaw. I think he's quite possibly the most talented Kazakh boxer ever. He's just in terms of pure talent. I put him up there. I really do rate him. So he's back and he's active. And he's active at a time when the welterweight division is not, you know, deep with talent. And, you know, it's a very thin division. And I do think even now, you know, later in his career, in his 30s now, there's a legitimate chance for Daniyar YELEUSSINOV to make a run at a welterweight title. So I was going ahead and I was looking at, like, what are some realistic title fights? What are some realistic fights for him to get him back into contention? Because right now, as it stands, YELEUSSINOV is not ranked in any of the top 15 of the sanctioning bodies, but he's number 16 on BoxRec. And so just with him being 16 on BoxRec, that puts him right next to names like Raul Gurriel and Shakram Giyashov, Alexis Rocha, Giovanni Santillan, guys like that. And I personally, for me, I would like to see him against Giovanni Santillan. I think that'd be a really good fight. Santillan is a southpaw kung fu fighter coming off a big knockout loss to Brian Norman Jr. I had learned recently that there are certain fighters that Golden Boy Promotions was trying to drain down to 147 to try to get Santillan a win. You know, I'm not going to say who, but I know. But I would like that fight. I would like that fight for YELEUSSINOV. I think that would be a chance for YELEUSSINOV to be in a tough fight against a credible welterweight. Someone that comes forward, throws a lot of punches, and would allow him to showcase his skills, but also still be in some danger. So I like that fight. I like the Alexis Rocha fight. I know he's probably not going to get a Shakram Giyashov fight because Giyashov is going to probably fight Stanionis for the WBA title, but I just think there's a plethora of fights for him. If you go down even below him, I think probably the most ideal fight right below him at 24 is David Avanesyan. You know, Avanesyan's a guy that's been in there with Crawford, Ennis, Josh Kelly, a lot of names in the welterweight division. And I think if YELEUSSINOV can just get that kind of name on his resume, that would put him in the right direction to get those big fights and continue to and get back into contention. I look at this division right now, honestly, I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I look at this division, I look at some of the champions, I look at Brian Norman Jr., I look at Stanionis, I look at even like a Mario Barrios. I think right now, even with just one fight coming off of inactivity, I think there's guys that Daniyar YELEUSSINOV would just absolutely just whoop, like beat the brakes off of. Because that's how good I know he is. It's not even I know he's that good. And it's just a matter of, will the politics of boxing line up fast enough for him to get these opportunities? You know, that's really what it is. At this point, it's a race against time and father time. If YELEUSSINOV can win that race and get those fights, then I think he has a great shot to become champion. Southpaw, very athletic, can punch with both hands, good defensively, still has hand speed. This is a guy that, like I said, I've said in all my videos about him, this is a guy that, you know, if he didn't have the promotional issues in his career and fighters didn't avoid him and things like that, this is a guy that I think would have already been up there with the guys like Spence and Crawford and Ennis and Virgil. He's in that class to me. He was talent-wise, he was always in that class to me. He just never had the opportunity because of promotional issues. But again, the division's in a really interesting place. Even if he can't get the names I mentioned, there's still, like, you got Suleiman Tezoko, you got Cuevas, you got Nicholas Flaus. I mean, you got Raul Gurriel. There's all kinds of guys. Alberto Palmetta, Jaleel Hackett. And I'll be honest with you, most of those names I just mentioned, I'd favor him against the majority of those names, just because when you fight YELEUSSINOV, you gotta be able to. He has a high level of experience, and not just that, he's not one of those guys that just because he has an amateur style, he fights like an amateur. He doesn't fight like an amateur. He has very much professional tendencies. So I just think even now he's still a dangerous matchup for anybody at welterweight, and I hope he gets a shot to prove what he can do. The division needs, in my opinion, this division needs Daniyar YELEUSSINOV to be a factor. It needs Daniyar YELEUSSINOV to be in big fights and important fights because, I mean, look, we don't really have much. I mean, I'm looking at the rankings now. In the IBF, Kenneth Sims Jr. somehow is 14 in the IBF, and Kenneth Sims Jr. is not even a welterweight. So I don't know how that happened, but you know that's where we're at welterweight. That guys that aren't even welterweights are sneaking into the top 15 of rankings. So yeah, those are just my thoughts on some realistic opponents for YELEUSSINOV. You know, Avanesyan, even like Michael McKinson. Michael McKinson's fighting this weekend against this African named Thulani Mbengene. If he wins that fight, you know, McKinson's fought Virgil Ortiz. McKinson never showed himself. He never showed himself to be a guy that will duck any fights. YELEUSSINOV versus McKinson is another good fight. There's plenty of options for him. I just want to see him get his shot. Paddy Donovan, Raul Cordial, Derek Cuevas. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Who do you want to see Daniyar YELEUSSINOV fight? What do you think is a good realistic fight for him in the division right now? Because like he's not in the top 15, but he's probably going to get ranked back in the top 15 because he was once a top 15 ranked fighter, and the only reason he's not ranked anymore is because he was inactive and had promotional issues. So make it that what you will, but yeah, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniyar. So until next time, take care. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. I'm at the Boxing Hall of Fame out here in Canterbury, New York. And for more great boxing content just like this video, make sure you click and subscribe right over here.